Welcome everybody to Red Hair Travel Channel. Today we are going together to Costa Rica, one of the greenest countries in Latin America. Coffee farms, jungles, volcanoes. I'll show you all the amazing places we've seen in this country during our 8 days road trip. We landed at the San Jose airport late at night, exchanged money and took a shuttle to the hotel. I specifically booked it nearby, and it turned out to be great. We'll go back there at the end of the trip again. This is what Costa Rican money looks like. The next morning we rented a car from a local Vamos company right in front of our hotel. By the way, I highly recommend you to read my article on redhairtravel.com, How to Drive Safely in Costa Rica. I'll post the link below this video. This is our first stop, Hacienda Alsacia Starbucks coffee farm. This amazing cafe is located right in the middle of a real coffee plantation. They serve drinks and delicious food. Also, they do tours and explain everything about coffee, how they grow it in Costa Rica, and even let you to participate in the process yourself. Look, you need 25 coffee beans just for 1 cup of coffee. Oof! Our guide was really good. She gave us a lot of interesting information and we had a tasting at the end, and overall Starbucks Farm was one of my favorite experiences in Costa Rica. We are moving to our next location, La Paz Waterfall. This huge park is a private reserve with 5 waterfalls, birds and wildlife. They even have a small cafe at the territory, but the main attraction of course are the waterfalls in the jungle. You can visit them by shuttle or on foot. It was raining heavily, so of course we decided to walk. Everything around was so wet, so green, so beautiful. I think that's when I fell in love with the jungle. Then we went to warm up under the roof and watch the animals. This park has many residents under its protection. Be ready to spend here about 2-3 hours. I promised you a volcano. We stopped by one of them in a hotel in La Fortuna. This town is famous for its views and hot springs. There is no shortage of volcanoes in Costa Rica. At least 61 are dormant or extinct and 6 are active, and the most popular among them is Arenal. We decided to hike at Arenal National Park and honestly wasn't impressed. Volcano was in a cloud, trail was pretty boring, but we met a real anteater! This was not the only exotic animal we saw in this region. In La Fortuna, we visited a sloth farm. It turned out these cuties are not hanging on every tree and you need a special guide to find them. We booked a tour and we were so lucky. A few meters from the trail we met a sloth mother and her baby. The guide said that she had lost her finger and couldn't hang on a tree, so they kept close to the farm for safety. I hope it's true and not just a tourist trap. Look how adorable they are. Oh my god, I can watch them forever. Another great place in La Fortuna is a chocolate and coffee farm Northfields. Our guide was from a family of coffee planters and spoke English perfectly. He showed us the coffee and cocoa trees and told us a little bit about the history and the processes. Then we had a coffee tasting. It's allowed to grow in Costa Rica only Arabica. That's why it's so delicious. Costa Rican use chorreador to make coffee, and it was quite entertaining to watch this tradition. The coffee was great. But that wasn't the end of the tour. We squeezed and drank sugarcane juice, roasted cacao beans, made chocolate paste, hot chocolate with spices, and just enjoyed our time. Don't forget to buy some chocolate from their shop, it's something special. We had lunch nearby at El Chante Verde Cafe. The locals call such inexpensive tasty places sodas, and the most popular lunch dish is called casado. You can read more about Costa Rican cuisine on redhairtravel.com. Meanwhile, we walk down the 500 steps to see the spectacular Rio Fortuna Waterfall. It's located in the middle of the jungle and falls 70 meters down the green rocks. You can't swim near the waterfall, but you can try nearby in the river. It was so cold! The Rio Fortuna Falls, like all other significant natural beauties of the country, is protected by the government and has a paid entrance. You can buy a ticket online or on the spot. And we are moving towards the beaches to Tamarindo. Tamarindo is Costa Rica's beach, party and surfing capital. It has a lot of tourists, traffic and beautiful sunsets all year round. Not far from Tamarindo, there is a small national park, Marino Las Baulas de Guacanaste. Entrance is free, you need to pay just several dollars in cash for a private parking. The area of Marino Las Baulas includes mangrove forests, where you can take a boat tour on the parking lot, and a long beach. The white sand was covered with shells and hundreds of little crabs running around, picturesque cliffs in the distance, palm trees along the coast, no people around. That was my personal paradise. And not only mine, turtles nest on this beach, and in October you can see baby turtles crawling to the ocean. More than a quarter of Costa Rica's lands are nature reserves and national parks. There is also a very rare cloud forest, which covers just 1% of global woodlands. Of course we couldn't miss it. Monteverde cloud forest grows at an altitude 1,500 meters on the ridge, where cold Caribbean winds and warm Pacific winds meet, and most of the area is usually covered with clouds and drizzling rain. Monteverde is home to over 3,000 plants and all kinds of prey birds. We found a hummingbird feeder by the cafe at the parking lot, and I have never seen so many hummingbirds in my life, and they were not afraid of people or camera, so that was amazing. Also in Monteverde are very popular Canopi Tours, parks with zip lines and bungees. We went to 100% Aventura with the longest zip line in Costa Rica. Bungee jump was the scariest thing in the park. We decided not to risk. Maybe next time. We booked a nice and inexpensive hotel in Monteverde with parking, breakfast and terrace. Had dinner in a Mexican restaurant and went to bed. I liked Monteverde so much that I didn't want to leave, but we still had more places to explore. Costa Rica looks so small on the map, but trust me, it feels so vast on the road. Narrow speed limits, slow tracks. In 8 days we visited many places, but even more remained unexplored. On the way to our last stop, we saw a bridge with a lot of people on it and decided to have a look. It was a bridge over Tarcoles River, where crocodiles live. You can see them from above or take a boat tour, but even from above the crocodiles looked impressive. They were 3 or 4 meters long. You can't miss this bridge. The locals put up tents with souvenirs and fruits nearby. Finally, we got to a small park which in 2011 Forbes magazine included in the list of the most beautiful on the planet, Manuel Antonio. To avoid the tourist crowds, we booked a hotel nearby and arrived at the park just in time for the opening. I bought my tickets online in advance. This park has many beautiful plants and trees, red crabs, birds, monkeys, a lot of monkeys. Keep an eye on your belongings. If you take a guide, you might also see the sloths. It's impossible to find them without binoculars. Parts of Manuel Antonio Park faces the ocean in the shape of a whale's tail, on both sides of which are sandy paradise beaches. We spent more than 1 hour on them. There are several changing rooms and cold showers with toilets next to the beaches. Sandals and light clothes are just right for this park. And again, big cave full of monkeys. They are incredibly cute, but also very clever and skilled thieves. We met our last sunset in Costa Rica on La Playa Espadilla. I was thinking about this wonderful country, its nature, people, energy. The Spanish conquistadors called this land the rich coast, Costa Rica, and it's rich indeed. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, you can download detailed Costa Rica itinerary below the video. See you!